Hello there and welcome to the online course Easy Geosteering. In this course we break down the complex geosteering topics into easy-to-follow steps.
We are currently in the first part of the course, Necessary Theory, and in the previous video we covered the main uncertainties for geosteering and found out what the lateral changes are. And today we explore the Geological Project and dive into drilling and landing strategies. Let's get started. The Geological Project is the key document that holds all necessary initial information about the well we're going to drill. First, we've got drilling and landing strategies, how exactly we are planning to drill the well and land it within the target zone. Second, the main geological horizons and key points T1, T2, and T3. These are markers taken from the planned trajectory that guide us as we drill. Then, brief information about the oilfield geology. Here we look at the mineral composition of the reservoir, whether it is consistent or not, whether there are any fluid contacts, and so on. It also highlights DLS limitations and risks and hazards we might face during the drilling process. And finally, the attachments: planned trajectory, structure maps, well correlations, geological cross-sections, and offset wells data. So, this is a brief description of a geological project, and now let's dive deeper into each part, starting with landing strategies. When it comes to landing strategies, we typically have two main options, casing point above the top target and below it. In the first option, we finish drilling landing section just a few meters above the top target. We do not enter the target layer. The exact distance can be different depending on the specific project. It might be just 1 or 2 meters above the top, but in some cases it could be 20, 30 meters or even more. In the second option, we actually enter the productive zone for about 20 meters MD to confirm the top target position using MLWD sensors. How does the customer decide which option is more convenient? There are a few key factors, and the first one is the reservoir pressure. If the pressure inside the target is abnormally high or low, you might get fluid kicks or mud loss accordingly. In this case, it's better not to cross the top of the target in the landing section. The second factor is the presence of fragile rocks near the top. In this case, if reservoir pressure is normal, we can enter the productive zone and then isolate that interval with casing. And factor number 3 is the contrast in LWD curves between the layer and the top of the target. When we start drilling horizontal section with new BHA, the first option for geosteering is preferable because it's better to drill through the top first and then enter the target zone. In this case, we will know how both formations look, and it will be easier for us to distinguish between them if we cross the top target again. Okay, let's move on to drilling strategies for horizontal sections. There are quite a few different options used in the industry, and we will focus on 4 of them. The specific strategy depends on several factors, and one of them is the thickness of the reservoir. If the target layer is no thicker than 2 meters, the strategy is simple. Try to keep the wellbore within the zone and maximize the productive length. If we exit the reservoir, the goal is to return as quickly as possible. This is one of the most common strategies in the industry, and it may also be used for thin layers if they have a complex structure with extreme deep angles and faults. If the formation is structurally consistent and the target layer is at least a few meters thick, it's possible to identify the most productive zone in the reservoir and try to keep the wellbore within it. For example, if the upper section of the formation has better properties, we might drill a couple of meters below the top to maximize productivity of the well. To implement this strategy, we need to clearly determine the wellbore position within the target zone, and it's preferable to do so without crossing its top or bottom. Okay, drilling strategy number 3. If we are dealing with a thick layer, say about 20 or 30 meters, we might drill through its full thickness. This approach can lead to good results without the need to chase a specific thin layer within the reservoir. During geosteering, all we need is a slight buildup of inclination while drilling through the productive intervals and small decrease when passing through shale sublayers. This is a pretty common strategy, especially in gas wells, where the layer thickness can be around 50 meters or more. And the last case isn't so common, but it does come up. If your target layer is located between the oil-water contact and gas-oil contact, you should drill horizontally and sometimes even without making any trajectory changes. Because if we deviate from the plan trying to avoid local geological body, for example, we risk encountering either gas or water influx. So what is the purpose of geosteering in this case when we are drilling strictly at 90 degrees? The main task here is to accurately identify the gas-oil contact position while drilling, and then drill down to a specific distance from it. This way we avoid influx and stay safely within the target zone, even if we need to sacrifice some productive length due to clay content along the well path.
Alright, we have covered what the drilling and landing strategies are. Hope you like this video. Remember, you can boost your practical skills with the private lessons. In StarSteer we utilize all modern tools and drilling simulators to provide you with an experience of a real geosteering engineer. Stay tuned and give this video a thumbs up. In the next lesson we will continue with Geological Project and dive into its attachments. See you then. Bye bye.